All right, so we're going to look at knowledge check 22.7.1. And for this, we're going to use the complete journey data, primarily just the transactional data. And we're also going to use dplyr. Okay, so first of all, let's look at transactions sample. And actually what I have in the code here, we want to take transactions, and that is the transaction sample data. Let's take a look at this if I can type it correctly. Transactions. Okay. So within transactions, we're just going to go ahead and look at the household ID, quantity, and sales value. All right, so we've got these variables of interest. And basically what we want to do is assign each transaction to a power rating of 1, 2, 3, or 4 based on the sales value variable. All right, so if sales value is below the 25th percentile, that's going to be a power rating of 1. If it is below the 50th percentile, but above the 25th percentile, it'll be a power rating of 2. If it's between the 50th and 75th, power rating of 3. And if it's above the 75th percentile, power rating of 4. All right, so how are we going to do this? Well, there is a quantile function that we can use. And within here, let's go ahead and just look at transactions. And what we care about is sales value. So the quantile function will give us our different quantiles from the 0%, 25th percentile, all the way up to 100%. And what we can do with quantile is we can actually specify a percent value of interest. So say we wanted to get the 50th percentile. We could just use 0.5, and that's going to give us our value of 2, which we can see up here. The 50th percentile was 2, so about $2. If we want to get the 75th, we could ask for that specifically. Okay, so what that means is we can use that information, and we can go ahead, and what we care about here is the sales value. All right, so when sales value is less than quantile of sales value, 0.25. All right, so here it says if sales value is less than the 25th percentile, so that's what I'm saying right here. If sales value is less than the 25th percentile, we are going to assign the power rating equal to 1. All right. So if sales value is above the 25th percentile, we're going to move on to the next line. And the next line is to say, we'll now check to see if the sales value is less than the 50th percentile. Okay. And we could follow this. If that is not the case, we can say if it's less than the 75th percentile, if so, assign it to 3. And then here again, this is the last one. If it doesn't meet any of those other conditions, we just say true, and it's going to be equal to 4. Whoops. What I can do here, if I want to bring this tilde all the way to the end to line it up for easy reading, we can. All right. So how is this working? Well, recall that case when is sequential. So case when is going to look to see is the sales value for a given observation, does it meet this condition? If so, assign the value 1. If not, we move to the next one. So in this one, if the sales value was less than the 50th percentile, right, we'll assign it to 2. But we know just by the fact that we got to this line of code here, we know that the sales value is greater than the 25th percentile, right? So we know that the sales value is between the 50th and the 25th, right? So that's how this can work. Let's go ahead and run this code. And now we can see we have our power rating and we have our sales value. So 3.86, right? This was, if we can look to the right here, we see that this was greater than the 75th percentile. So we got a power rating of 4. The next observation, the sales value was 1.59. And this is above the 25th percentile, but below the 50th. So we should have a power rating of 2, which we do. Next one, the sales value is 1, which is below the 25th percentile, so it should have a power rating of 1, which it does.